straight up. I like my liquor like I like my men. Straight and up. I think I'm going to start the show by basically catching you up on what's been going on in my life. I think the last time some of you have seen me, I was telling you how I was an unemployed comedian. I got laid off from my last job. They were like, Jenny, your sales are up and everybody else's are down. Apparently you're not a team player. Can you believe that shit? Now I know what it's like to be Kobe. But I'm not unemployed anymore. I'm actually waiting tables over in the Richie Rich part of Summerlin at a burger joint. Woo! And honestly, waiting tables is nothing like that movie Waiting with Ryan Reynolds, a.k.a. Green Lantern, a.k.a. Sexy Mother. Isn't he fine? I just had to put that image in my mind, because you know how they say when you're nervous you should think of your audience naked? But you guys have seen yourselves. So I'm going to stick with Ryan, okay? So, yeah, back to my dream job. Yeah, it's nothing like the movie Waiting. I don't get to spit in anybody's food or shake dandruff in there no matter what an asshole they are to me. But, and I don't get to walk in the back and see some guy showing me his junk. But my last job was actually cocktailing at a totally nude strip club, and they had a male review. Let me just tell you, that shit was hilarious! You should have seen these guys in G-strings swinging around these poles like a fucking girl. But I'll be honest, once they whipped their dick out, I was like, whoa, that's no laughing matter. Here's 20 bucks. So yeah, honestly, I love my job, I like the people I work with, blah, blah, blah. The only thing I hate about my job, my nemesis, is the nachos. I swear, it's my Achilles heel. I know you would expect the abbreviation CH in the computer to stand for cheese. It doesn't. It stands for chili. So all these people get chili nachos. I'm like, what? Chili? It's your favorite. Doesn't work. I'm sure it wouldn't surprise you to know that all of my cooks are Mexican, who speak a limited amount of English when it's convenient. But, I cannot keep track of all the Jose's and Pedro's and, you know, Donatello, Raffaello, Leonardo's. So I just gave them all my own little nicknames. So I'm like, all right, you're Mastardo, you're Leonardo, you're Picolardo, and you're Mañana. I'll see you tomorrow. What? They're like the Seven Dwarfs, Sleepy, Dopey, and Cornelio. Let's see, what else? Oh, kids eat for free at my job on Tuesdays. Thrill of my week. Actually, I don't have any kids, so I love to watch these kids torture their parents for a free meal. My favorite part is when I come at the end and I'm like, so, are we ready to split one of my chocolate lavas? I got a cone of pie that we'll keep in the freezer until you get home so that we won't have any regrets. And they all look at me like, die, bitch, die! Let's see, what else? What do I got? Die, bitch, die. I just recently had an employee evaluation. I passed with flying colors. Turns out I know how to take an order and drop it off. It's not rocket science, people. They actually wanted me to be at work recently at 7:45 a.m. for an employee meeting, but they gave me a free meal, so I let them torture me. I'm not a morning person. I normally don't roll out of bed until about 11 a.m., and then I don't usually have my first meal until like 1. But I love breakfast, so in my family we call it lunchfast. I mean, bacon, eggs, steak and eggs, sausage and eggs, that shit is good any time of day or night, right? I especially like it for dinner. Between lunch and dinner. It's not going to catch on, is it? I've never been a morning person. My man says I'm like a rainbow of hate in all of its shades. Malice, bitch, cunt, content. And he's my little leprechaun at the end of the rainbow. He's my little lucky charm. Only way I'm going to eat my lucky charms is if I trim my 4-leaf clover. I tend to neglect my yard duties. Most days she looks like the lead singer in an 80s hair band. Girls, 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 walking down the Sunset Strip. He's not a Motley Crue fan. I think an accurate way to describe our relationship is to say that we're a lot like one of the most famous couples in the world. Not Brad and Angelina, but thank you. No, we're a lot more like Kermit the Frog and Miss Piggy. He's my little hairy Persian prince, little frog prince, and I'm his passionate, bossy, psychotic, pretty pig. His pudgy princess. And if you think you can call me pudgy princess to my face, you don't know me very well. I'm not as pudgy as I used to be. I recently bought that Brazilian butt lift off of the infomercial. I'm sure some of you have seen that. She's not quite Brazilian yet, but she's leaning towards Puerto Rican. It's changing from the black right there. She don't look like a white girl booty no more. My goal is to get my beach body back by my 35th birthday, which is this October. Yes. I had to let myself go due to a hip injury. Rough sex. My man was finally able to convince me to go to his therapist. And actually, I'm really surprised at what he was able to do for me and how quickly. And honestly, I think I got the better deal out of physical therapy because I actually got taller. I literally gained a 1/4 inch. And my man could use that 1/4 inch. All he can say is he can touch his toes. Who needs that? And he could have used that extra 1/4 inch because he's a leprechaun. I actually got a raw deal recently. I'm sure some of you can relate to this. I was recently held captive at the DMV for 2 days straight through no fault of my own. My insurance company messed up my VIN number. Can you believe that? It's like, dude, that's your job. And all I could think while I was trapped there is how this is like the most expensive freak show I never wanted to see and really didn't want to pay for. I've never seen so many kids in pajamas and so many fake Louis Vuitton bags in my life. Where'd you get that one? I even saw a couple that was dressed up like a zombie. They looked like Mr. and Mrs. Beetlejuice. I felt like I was trapped in that movie Beetlejuice with all the half-dead weirdos that I was forced to take a ticket and sit next to in limbo. And even the employees looked like the undead. Their skin was all pale and pasty, looked like I hadn't seen the sun in years. But they don't forget to go to that lunch break, do they? I have never seen so many dead people walking in my life. It's like, seriously, eat a salad. You don't live to eat, you eat to live. Eat less, move more. Love yourself. Don't worry, I'm not against fat people. I've actually been watching that show, Extreme Makeover, Weight Loss Edition. Who's seen it? It's a good show. Honestly, I'm inspired and amazed at how these people are able to take their lives into control and have a better quality of life. I mean, if these people can literally lose hundreds of pounds in 1 year and shed those demons and get their life back into control, so can I. I can have that beach body by 35. I can be a successful comedian. I can make all my dreams come true. I can have my cake and eat it too. What? I like cake. Are you guys ready for your first performer? All right. This first performer coming to the stage, she is young, she's gorgeous, and she's a very talented comedian. I want you to give it up for my girl, Courtney Leone. Hey, straight up, how's it going? Thanks for coming out tonight, guys. Give it up for yourselves. You don't love yourselves very much. I just asked you to clap for you. Do that again, please. Okay, that's much better. So my name is Courtney Leone, and I'm going to share some information with you tonight. Did you know that every single time you sneeze, your body experiences 1/8 of an orgasm? Yeah, it was pretty sweet. That's why I always try to sneeze at least 8 times in a row. And I love allergy season because that means multiples. Yeah. I'm going to keep that there. So where my old guys at? No, I mean, like, call it out. It's dark out there. Where my old guys at? Alright, old dudes love me. Like, they really love me. Everybody loves all my girlfriends, but like the old men, they're mine. But I was like, hey little girl, how you doing? Like, I'm not a little girl, I'm 25. Like, you look 15. But I'm not. I got a van and a puppy, what are you doing later? Like, Nothing, but if you got a bicycle in the back, I'm going home with you. I'm glad I'm not a little girl, for real, because it would be a really hard time to be in high school these days. My little cousin is 15, and she is stupid as shit. I love her dearly, I really do. She doesn't know anything about anything. And it's mostly because, like, kids lie to each other about sex. That's what I notice. Like, oh my god, did you hear that Tiffany got pregnant from sitting in the bathroom in the second floor next to the science labs? No, Tiffany got pregnant because she had sex with the kid in the fucking band, but she didn't want to tell you that because she was too embarrassed, so she lied and said she sat on a toilet seat and got pregnant. It's unfortunate, but you're dumb enough to believe her. It's really sad. Like, that girl was an idiot. And unfortunately, my little cousin believed her, and she passed that story along to me. I'm like, I don't want you having misinformation like that. That's not fair. If you have questions about sex, you come to me. You ask me. I will tell you. I will be honest with you. She's like, I don't know. You're probably going to laugh. I'm like, well, I probably am going to laugh, but you should still ask me. She's like, all right, I have one, but just don't laugh at me, okay? I'm like, I make no promises, but go. I'm ready to tell her about sex. I'm ready to tell her where babies come from. But she sits me down and she goes, okay, so if a guy jerks off in his hand when he gets cum on it and the next time he fingers you, can you get pregnant? I'm like, what? I was ready to tell you how a condom works. What is this? Now, I don't want to have misinformation, but I also don't want anybody touching my baby cousin. So first of all, I said yes. Second of all, I told her if the guy doesn't have the common sense to wash his hands in a 24-hour period, he has no business touching you anywhere on your body, let alone your vagina. Move on, lady. You can do better than that. It is gross. That's what's out there. That's our next generation. Isn't that awful? It leads to, like, absolutely terrible situations. Like, I was at the pool the other day getting tan. Yeah? Yeah, I don't tan very well. So I'm at the pool, it's a community pool, and this chick walks in and she sits down next to me and she's gorgeous. She's like the hottest girl I've ever seen in my entire life. So hot that, like, I wanted to drown myself in the shallow end of the pool, which is way worse than drowning yourself in the deep end because you have the option of saving your own life and you're like, I'm just gonna let this go, I don't even care.